recording and turn this all over to Royce.
Okay, good morning. I'm Royce Page, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to Not Church this fine, sunny Sunday morning. We have a great program for you this morning with Maria Rosales reading poetry. Sky McKenzie will talk about actions through intentions. Connie Castillo-Walsh will lead us in a meditation. And our special guest speaker this morning is Monica Chiappa. Monica will enlighten us about the power of you. So I know you'll be anxious to listening and participating with these speakers, but please indulge me for just one moment. Back in the day, I was a junior high language arts teacher, and I would have classes of 7th and 8th graders for periods of an hour and a half each day, if you can imagine that. Trying to hold the attention of these adolescent minds for that long was a formidable task indeed. One day I had this crazy idea, and I thought, well, why don't we just try to begin classes by singing a few songs? That would, take attention for a minute or two. This went over like a lead balloon, as you can imagine. But I persisted and played recordings of some songs, and lo and behold, in a few weeks, we all started having fun beginning each class by singing. One of the songs we sang was by a Mexican artist, Juan Gabriel, and it's called Buenos Dias, Señor Sol. Now, I was going to play this happy tune for you this morning, but was advised that our technology just would not support such an endeavor. And you would have to mute me if I attempted to sing it. So I'll just have to read you the words. It's in Spanish, so I'll read a line in Spanish and then I'll give you the English translation. It goes like this. Todas las mañanas que entra por mi ventana el Señor Sol. Every morning, Mr. Sun comes through my window. Doy gracias a Dios por otro día más. I give thanks to God for another day. Hoy, como otros días, yo seguiré tratando ser mejor. Today, like other days, I keep trying to do better. Yo sonrido, haré las cosas con amor. And smiling, I will do everything with love. Buenos días, alegría. Buenos días, Señor Sol. Good morning, joy. Good morning, Mr. Sun. Buenos días al amor. Good morning to love. Buenos días a la vida. Good morning, life. Buenos días, Señor Sol. Good morning, Mr. Sun. And so, my fellow Not Church participants, buenos días, alegría. Buenos días al amor. Nadine?
Unmute, Maria.
My apologies. Good morning, everyone. So my name's Maria Rosales, and for those of you who don't know me, I'll give you a little intro to me. Normally, I don't talk much about this on Not Church, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm originally from the UK. I was born in London, but I've lived over 40 years on this side of the pond. And I had a hectic career. I was on call 24/7 as a network technologist and 360 days a year. When I retired, I moved away from the Bay Area to the forest of Paradise. That's Paradise, Northern California. On November 7th of 2018, my husband and I left Paradise to journey to La Misión for a vacation. And after prepping the house for our absence, we were kind of tired and we thought about staying one more night at home before leaving. But I had a really strong premonition that we needed to leave. So we did. We stopped in LA for the night, and the next morning we heard that Paradise had burned. So when we arrived in La Misión, we stayed. I love everything about this place. I love the beauty, the meeting of the mountain, the river, and the ocean, and the community. We chose to stay here, and I have been forever grateful. It's only 2 years, but it feels like forever since our house burned. If there's anything I would like to leave as my legacy from this life, here's my intention. My heart and my word is a safe place for everyone I know. That's how I try to live. And my poem was written when I was in the throes of that job. And it was, you'll sense a longing in it for the kind of life I would have preferred to be living at the time. If this were my last day, if this were my last day, I would let the cat sit on my lap right now as I type. If this were my last day, I would forego sleep to write this poem. I would step outside this morning without shoes to watch the sunrise over Mount Diablo. I would walk the dog before taking my coffee, spend an extra languid hour by the lake. If this were my last day, I would wear something frivolous to the garden, loll in the hammock in satin or silk, reciting my poems to the birds or to the pastel dawn. If this were my last day, I would reel my grudges in like fish, take the hooks out and set them free, so I could call those who hurt me and love them anyway. I would surprise myself with tenderness for my enemies, sip jasmine tea and eat dessert twice. Look in the eyes of everyone I meet, let them know out loud or in silence that they matter and are loved. I would be an ambassador of peace in my world. If this were my last day, I would play before the bed was made and make a happy mess in the kitchen, naked, baking complicated cookies from scratch. If this were my last day, looking back or forward would make no difference, and I would be at peace with that. If this were my last day, my children would know that I am ready, and they would release me with joy. I would not slip softly into the dark river, but shoot like a rainbow-tailed comet into oblivion. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Maria and Royce. And that's a great juxtaposition between, if this was our last day, every morning we can look out the window and say, Buenos dias, Señor Sol, and just invite the joy and the love and the sun into our world every single day of our lives. So my name is Sky McKenzie, and I have lived in so many different countries around the world that I now consider myself a citizen of the world. In fact, it was Barack Obama who once said, I'm from everywhere really, but I live here now. So I claim that statement as my own. I'm from everywhere really, but for now, I live here in Baja, California. My passion is to help people transform through difficult times. So it's no surprise that I've been through a few difficult times of my own. Over the years, I have read so many books and done so many courses and enrolled in so many programs on personal development and transformation. And one day I was reading one of these books, and it occurred to me that they all say the same thing, just in a different way. So through a big, messy process of large sheets of white paper and colored pencils and hours of frantic, energetic enthusiasm to simplify 999 personal development books and courses and programs, I finally came up with 4 simple principles. 4 principles that are contained in every book on goal setting and transformation of any kind. And I call these principles the Kate method, actions through intentions. And I'm going to share them with you this morning. No, K is no, A is act, T, trust, and E, expect. So the first principle, no. In order for us to want a better future or to transform our lives in some way, we have to know what it is that we want. I recently listened to a Joe Dispenza talk on setting intentions, and the interviewer asked him what he meant. And he said, well, it's simple, really. The definition of intention is to know what you want. Yes, there it is again. So the no is to set your intention for what you want in your life. And it may be something tangible, a better education, a new career, a bigger house, or a way of being. More compassion, less judgment, more patience, less aggression. In the Kate Method workshop, we will talk about the difference between ego-based intentions and soul-based intentions. And it isn't that a soul-based intention isn't something tangible or practical, like the need for a new car or anything else we might need to live on this planet. The difference is in how we word these intentions as to whether they are ego-based or soul-based. However, whatever our intentions are, the first step is to know what we want. The second principle is A, act. In the Kate Method, the action is not to create a list of 10 action steps that we can do every day to make this thing happen. It is inspired action. Florence Scovel Shinn says in her book, The Game of Life and How to Play, it's one of my favorite books, do nothing until you get an intuitive lead. So you set your intention, you write it down if you need to, but you do nothing except to visualize and imagine yourself having that career, being that person, until you get an intuitive lead to take inspired action. This is action through intention. You're not forcing things to happen. You're not striving to make things happen. When you act on your intuitive leads, you're stepping out with the creative power. That action that is packed with all the resources from the universe, because the universe has given you that action to take in order for your intentions to manifest in your life. So you may hear something on the radio or read something in a book. You may be talking to a friend and they might say something to you, but you will know that that is your action step. And it may be something as simple as making a phone call, writing an email, or even going for a walk on the beach. The other day I felt, go for a walk on the beach instead of sitting at home. And whilst walking, I got this amazing revelation that I knew I wouldn't have received staying at home. But until you get that intuitive lead, T, trust. Trust that your higher power, the universe, all of the energy behind your intention is working with you to make things happen for you. And trust yourself, trust your intuition, and feel that confidence that is within you when you need to step out and take that inspired action. And the last principle is E, the power of expectation. Latest research shows that when we visualize with an emotion attached to the experience, that's when the magic happens. Have an expectation that the intention that you've set for your life will happen. Create that expectation when you're visualizing. Feel the emotion as if you have already received it. So to summarize, think about your no. Take only inspired action based on your intuitive leads. And until then, trust. Trust your higher power and expect the miracles to happen. These 4 principles can guide you in setting up your year to create the life that you love. And I'll be bringing these principles to you in more detail in a workshop for Tranquilo that we will tell you about later. So I'll now hand over to Connie to lead us through the meditation for today.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Connie Steele Walsh, and I am honored to be here, so thank you. Let's see, we live in La Loma, my husband and myself and our 2 dogs. We originally come from Southern California, but We've lived in many different places, including Maui. And we arrived a little over a year ago between the fires and the flood and the pandemic. And I like to think our timing was perfect. So here we are. We've landed in this lovely little village, and we're incredibly grateful to be here and hope to get to meet more of you soon. It feels like we've just got a taste of this place, and everything had to kind of shut down, and we had to be careful. So I have a YouTube channel, and if you enjoy this meditation, there's this and more on the channel, and it's called Divine Self Hypnosis. And this is a shorter version of a longer version that's coming. So without further ado, as you are now ready to give yourself all the permission you need to begin the process of letting go, for just this moment of all thoughts and concerns of the day. It's as if you are blowing on a dandelion, and you can see them now floating away in the wind, getting farther and farther away, feeling lighter and freer as you shift and move your body into a comfortable position. If you haven't already done so, uncross your arms and legs. Allow your eyelids to gently glide and comfortably close. And with a long, deep, cleansing breath all the way down into your belly, then letting your breath all the way out. With each breath in, breathe into this present moment, gathering yourself fully into this present space. Then, with gratitude, letting go of that breath, with the next breath, breathing deeply in, breathe in silence as you begin to cultivate a quiet mind. Breathing out any tension or tightness you might be holding in your body as you choose to turn your attention to the inner world of your well-being, going deeper and deeper into your inner world of peace and calm that is with you always, your sanctuary, where you are completely safe and always protected. Feeling lighter and lighter, you travel up to the heavens, to your North Star glowing brightly, sparkling, shining, and vibrating. Feeling the soft vibration and energy emanating from your North Star, you begin to see sparkles of stardust shower down on you from your North Star, surrounding you with the most magnificent and brilliant light. See the sparkles as they dance all around your body, penetrating every beautiful cell in your body, filling you up with an infinite flow of wisdom and cosmic consciousness. We charge you with a loving light, a wonderful sense of self-assurance, self-confidence, and self-love, bringing a deep sense of wholeness and abundance. This life energy is your life energy that is with you always and is as old as the stars in the heavens, reminding you that you are a tiny but powerful piece of the vast universe. For you are limitless by nature. Enjoy this deep blessing, connecting you to your soul awareness, the universe, your greater knowing of all that is, your higher self in cooperation and holy partnership with you. Take the next 60 seconds to receive any messages that are just right for you from your North Star, your compass, your guiding light growing brightly as you breathe this energy in. And when you feel complete, allow all those feelings of well-being to well up and wash over you, forever washing away any doubt you may have ever had in your skills and abilities to manifest and create your beautiful, abundant, and limitless life in all ways that are just right for you. By using your internal compass, you know where to find your North Star in any and all situations in life. A beacon of creativity, inspiration, and hope. You are as limitless in manifesting your abundance as the stars in all the galaxies. Knowing your place in the cosmos, you bring into focus your awareness of your connectedness and well-being for yourself and others. Like the sparks of your imagination from which your dreams are formed. Stars represent limitless possibilities and infinite wonder in deep and vast loving awareness. The divine is an organic system that is connected and breathes with all of life. You are aware of this power, making anything possible, as collectively we are all moving away from the love of power to discover the true power of love and our greater capacity to love. For this too is our true nature, as it envelops you now. For you are as expansive and limitless as the stars that are all around you, forever connected to this web of life with everything you need dwelling within you in every present moment. With a smile and grateful heart, knowing that you are a miracle in motion, a beautiful supernova of love and light, with a deep and refreshing and wakeful breath, breathing that breath all the way down into the earth, bringing you back to the earth. You are grounded and surrounded by grace. You open your eyes and bring yourself fully back into this space. And now I pass the baton on to Monica Chiappa.
Thank you, Connie. It's Nadine again here. I want to tell you a little bit about our invited speaker today. We are very pleased and very grateful to have Monica Chiappa with us. Monica was born and raised in Mexico City. She's a psychologist and a life coach with a focus on self-integration and self-empowerment using tools of spiritual psychology. In 2019, Monica began using this work in programs for prison inmates, and in 2020, she served as a producer on the documentary Step Inside the Circle. Monica's vision is to create awareness in our communities beyond borders and at all socioeconomic levels by fostering authentic and long-lasting practices of self-discovery, reconciliation, and peace. Currently, Monica is remotely teaching a program of advanced psychology to a group of inmates at a prison in California and to clients in Mexico. She lives in Los Angeles with her husband and their 2 adult daughters. I can't imagine a more perfect time for a discussion of authenticity, reconciliation, and peace. Monica, welcome.
Thank you very, very much. I'm so happy and thrilled to be here with all of you to share with you what the power of you means to me. And in order to get a glimpse, an idea of what power means, we have to become aware of what is involved in the concept of you. You involves the personality and the ego. You also involves the ego and the authentic self, and the body with all its organs, tissues, and cells. You equally entails the mind And that means our imagination, our memories, our projections, judgments, our stories. In one word, our karma, or what we call in spiritual psychology, our spiritual curriculum. So in order to use our power, we have to integrate, we have to bring all the components that make you be you. Because in the same way that all the pieces of a puzzle are crucial to see the whole picture, we need every part of ourself and our experience to see the whole tapestry of this adventure called life. For me, living an empowering life is not about just collecting the positive, beautiful, and remarkable experiences, throwing away the negatives, the shameful, or the bad ones. If we do that, we would be missing the power and the goal hidden in the darkness. So let's see. I want to share with you that I see life as a visit to an amusement park. And I feel that every life experience is a ride. And the quality of the experience will be determined if we jump into the ride from our ego or from our authentic self. And let me tell you something, as long when we come from the ego, or as long as we're coming from ego, there's no way to come from a space of power, but from force. Then how do we know if we are connecting in life from ego or authentic self, from power or from force? To get an answer, let's immerse ourselves in these concepts. The ego is that part of ourselves that we show to the world. We think that we are our body, and sometimes our personality, actually not sometimes, always, our personality gets determined by our nationality, our given name, our religion, our socioeconomic level. We identified our value with our actions and with our material belongings. The ego feeds on fear, on acknowledgement, on rewards, on judgments and control. And the world of the ego is a world of polarities, of duality. Uh, the ego loves to play the role of the victim. After describing these qualities, we may think that the ego is a negative part of ourselves. But no, the ego is not bad. The ego is just antiquated. The ego was not made to collaborate in the evolution of the human consciousness or our spiritual awakening. Its only role has been to make sure that human beings do not die. That's the only role. And the ego is not equipped to hold the energy of power. What is interesting is that we all need an ego while we are alive. The ego makes us unique. And also, if we know how to use the ego can become the best personal assistant. And the key is to remember that we are not only an ego. In the same way that our ego is our human part, the authentic self is our divine part. It's that part of ourself that is whole, complete, and perfect. It's who we truly are. That's our essence. And the authentic self lives in the present moment in a reality of infinite possibilities. It lives in unity, in our where is my authentic self? It lives also in unconditional love, acceptance of the present moment, compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. We use our breath to connect with our authentic self and actually help me to connect with my authentic self. Let's all take a deep inhale and a long exhale. When we are breathing, we are connecting the masculine energy and the feminine energy that runs through our body. And this union allows us to connect from a different part of our consciousness, and our perception of reality changes. Every time we are connecting with our breathing, with our breath consciously, we are using our power. And when we stop breathing, we are using force. What is interesting is that when we stop breathing, the ego takes control of the situation to make sure that we are alive. And I remember one day when my little girls, well, actually, they are not girls, they are adults now. But when they were little, I took them to sleep. And at the moment I switched on the light, I saw a spark coming from the lamp ceiling. I immediately turned off the switch, grabbed my girls, flew down with them 3 floors, cut the electricity, called the firemen in just a matter of seconds. That's exactly when we have an ego in front of danger, in perfect action, making sure we are all alive. What is interesting is that sometimes we stop breathing, and not necessarily because we are in real danger. I need to keep breathing. My mouth is getting dry. I can feel my ego, which, as I said, is the best personal assistant, wants to take control. As I mentioned, the ego cannot hold the power of energy because it was not made for that. So it doesn't really matter how much effort and intention we exert or how many affirmations we make. If we are coming from ego, we are coming from force. We cannot use our power. So how do we do that? How can we come from the authentic self? How can we transform force into power? So let's see image number 1. Image number 1, we can see that in 1995, Dr. David Hawkins showed the world that he was able to calibrate human consciousness. And he divided the energy or the human consciousness into energies. The lower energies, he called them force. And as you can see, that includes guilt, shame, apathy, all those emotions that you see there. And when we are living in fears, in force, we feel in a space of survival. We feel in limitation. The upper levels, he called them power. And you can see that they come from courage into enlightenment. And when we are living in those levels, we feel that we keep growing and evolving. He also was able to create an amazing map of human consciousness. And we can see that a kind of a modified version of that in the image number 2. As you can see here, we can clearly see why when we are in a space of despair, we cannot move into forgiveness. And when we are in anger, there's no way that we can feel things are going to be fine. Let me give you an example of this. Sandra wanted to help her mom because she was feeling in despair to see her the way she was killing herself with alcohol. So she offered to help her. The mom didn't accept the help and also denied that she had a problem. Sandra got very, very angry and she started crashing the china and throwing away all the family portraits. She was screaming, she was crying. Although her emotion was, her intention was coming from a place of love, actually she was connecting from her ego from a level of force, from the lower levels. from a level of fear or shame or grief. So that's exactly what happened when we are coming from the ego, when we are connecting in life from the ego. We cannot exercise and feel and use the power. It is as if we want to see Central Park and we are in San Diego, or we want to visit the Vatican while we are in London. So that's exactly what happens. So how can we move into compassion, into gratitude, into forgiveness when we are in deep states of pain and despair? How can we start transforming force into power? Every challenge that we have in life, when we are coming from ego, the ego sees the challenge as something that has to fight or overcome. However, the authentic self sees the challenge as an opportunity to jump into a higher place in our consciousness. We saw that our breath is the bridge that helps us to connect and move from ego into authentic self. So to move into power, what we need to do is to change the paradigms of polarity of the ego, the right and wrong, good and bad, positive and negative, and see every experience as an opportunity to live life from a higher level of consciousness, to see things totally, totally different. So every time we feel we are upset and angry because, and you can feel the blank, that means that we are connecting with life from ego. And when we are reacting from ego, coming from force, we may get what we want, but that doesn't mean we win. There's no way to win when there's no growth. And when I think about force, I have a sense of a very dense energy, an energy that I feel is sticky and dark and heavy. And as I said, there's no way to win because every force always has a counter force. And those two energies will be fighting each other to see which one wins. Have another example. Imagine that my teenage daughter is being disrespectful. So in order to teach her a lesson of respect, I decided I'm going to take away her cell phone for the whole weekend. In that case, I was using force because my ego was reacting as if I was in danger, but I missed the opportunity to connect with my daughter and see what was happening in her world. On the other hand, when we use power, I feel power as an energy of light, as an energy that transforms everything just by being present. I feel a sensation, a very soft and velvety sensation that I also associate with brightness, with silence, with elegance. So when we are feeling upset because, and we come from power, at that moment, we come from the authentic self and see the challenge as an opportunity to see, as I said, to jump into a different space of consciousness. And for that to happen, we need to integrate body, mind, emotions, and soul. Our body is the vehicle. Our mind is the map that with all its judgments and its beliefs, let us know where the goal, where the hidden power is. Our emotions are the fuel that move things. Our heart is the GPS that makes sure we will be arriving to our destination. And our soul, our authentic self, is the part that plays as the alchemist and makes the magic happen. Let me give you another example. Daniel was someone who lost his parents when he was still a child. He found out that his nephew was suffering due to the excessive drinking of his parents. He was furious with his brother and he wanted to scream at him. Then he became aware that he was projecting all the emotions that he experienced as a child into this situation. So by becoming aware, he was able to process his emotions. He realized that fighting with his brother, screaming at him, was not going to help anyone. So by working the emotions, working on his own process, he was able to have a conversation with his brother from a space of empathy and respect. He knew pretty well that screaming and being disrespectful was force, and speaking from his heart was really coming from power. I want to invite you at this time to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Think about a situation in your life, past or present, that you wish you could change. What do you feel when you remember this situation? What feeling can you identify? I'm angry because? I'm worried because? Where do you feel this emotion in your body? When in the past, you remember feeling the same emotion, who is in charge? Are you responding from your authentic self with power, or reacting from the ego with force? Connect again with your breath and take a deep inhale. And when you exhale, put your hand in your heart. Connect with a memory when you felt love, joy, or gratitude. Allow the emotion to shower your whole body. Feel its vibration nurturing every cell, tissue, and organ in your body while you keep breathing. Think about the same situation you wish you could change. What possibilities may be hidden in this situation, waiting for you to be rediscovered and integrated? We're just planting the question. Allow your authentic self to give you the answer at the right moment and at the right time. When you're ready, open your eyes. When we are coming from the power of ourselves, we have the freedom to choose from which place of consciousness we want to connect in life, from authentic self or from ego. And we see every challenge as an opportunity to board every ride of this adventure, of this amusement park called life, with all our power. Thank you.
Well, that was pretty great today. Thank you, Monica. That was beautiful. Royce, Maria, Sky, Connie, all of you for your beautiful presentations today. I want to open it up now. If we have questions for Sky or Monica, if you have comments, if you have anything that you'd like to say, please unmute yourself and join us.
Tony, it's Maria. Could you repeat your how we find your YouTube channel? Or put it in chat.
Yes, divine self-hypnosis, and I'll put it in chat.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I also I'll do a summary of this and I'll post a link either on Facebook or on the website. And I will hopefully also post a video, a recording of this gathering today and any summaries, and anybody who wants to provide me who spoke today. For example, Royce, I would love to have a copy of those lyrics to post on the website. Maria, your poem. I don't know, Connie, if that is workable. And Sky, I know you're going to post information as well. And we will make that all available to everyone. All right, so anyone who has any comments, please unmute and.
Sure. Can I jump in? This was
Sure.
this was extraordinary this morning. It was extra special and very moving. The first part of it, when our speaker spoke about walking the beach with the dogs, I was walking as I meditated, and it was a beautiful walking meditation. And I just want to say how much I appreciate and love everyone here and love the connection, and also. It's so aligned with, you know, with what I've been doing in my life with the World Is My Country movie. And I put in the chat, we have, you know, Ford Roosevelt coming up, speaking about his mother's work on Universal Declaration of Human Rights this Wednesday. We have a speaker on the Earth Constitution and the head of all of Rotary International. So check out that chat, and I'd love to join you and continue to do our heart-to-heart connection to bring the world together in one. The world needs us so much now, and we're part of that rising of humanity that really can't be beat. We see the death throes of an old dying dinosaur as the new is emerging, and it's growing and connecting, and little meetings like this of all of us, and humanity is arising, and humanity is connecting as one, all these Zoom meetings, and we are coming together into that future abundance and beauty that we're all a part of, and that's inside of us getting expressed out to the world. So thank you so much, the wonderful speakers, and each of you who's a part of this great, wonderful meditation.
Thank you, Arthur.
Thank you, Arthur. Yeah.
Hi.
Nadine, are you back? I think
I'm
Sky
back.
is going to give us some information.
Okay, great.
Can I share?
Yes, please.
Hi, my name's Terry Jo. It's my first time at Not
Oh,
Church.
sorry.
I want to give a shout out to Anna, who has been talking about this for, I don't know, since I've known her, this forum, Not Church. And she's so enthusiastic and inspired. And I came on today because it's virtual. I'm in Palm Desert, but also because my friend Monica was speaking, and I was just so moved by everything today, the poetry, the people, Monica, the power versus force, which I know is based on David Hawkins' work as well, but it's just so clear the way you laid that out. And I really see how I used a lot of force in my earlier, like, unconscious years, even though I was in a lot of spiritual growth at the time, because I've been a junkie since I was in my early 20s for spiritual growth work. But even that, I was using my force, like, and building muscles in a lot of ways, which was great. And so now I feel like it's really the time to step into authentic power and all those qualities you shared. And so it's just so insightful and informative. I'm so grateful. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Terry Jo.
Thank you.
Sky,
I-
did you? Oh, I'm sorry. Who? What?
I'm sorry, this is Benet.
Oh, hi,
I'm very
Benet.
interested. Hi, I'm really interested in Sky's workshop, so I do look forward to getting that information.
We will be getting, Sky's going to make some comments now, and we will make all of this information available on the Tranquilo website. And we'll post that both on the Not Church page and on Tranquilo. We are, as you may have noticed, making a transition into Tranquilo, which Not Church will remain a part of. And we will continue with our monthly gatherings. but we are expanding to include wonderful programs like Sky's Kate program, like Monica's program, information about poetry readings that Maria hosts, anything that is uplifting, spiritual, community building, we are going to incorporate all of that. So if anybody does have any events or anything coming up, please send me or Anna or one of us, Tom, one of us, an email so that we can add that information to our Tranquilo calendar. All right. So we'll be sure to get that information out. We'll send up a follow-up email or something coming up within a week or so. So be on the lookout from a message from us. Sky, did you want to speak?
Yeah, just to say thank you. It was a just amazing morning, and thank you for your feedback. I know we're having a resources page put on the Tranquilo website, and Arthur, you and I have been briefly in touch. I met Arthur on the beach one day, both doing a walk actually, and so we will have some information about what he was talking about earlier on our resources page. But the workshops are actually up already on the Tranquilo website. So if you would like to go to tranquilobaja.com and click on the courses page, you will see information about the Kate Method workshop, which is on the 21st of January. And it's a 3-hour workshop. It's on Zoom, and we'll be delving into the 4 principles a lot more about how to set intentions for yourself for this year. I'm going to be doing a wonderful technique with you on the under T for trust, to help you let go and release all of these intentions, to trust your higher power. So there's some amazing things that we're going to be doing. But also I want to tell you about Monica's amazing program that usually she charges for, but for us here in Tranquilo, and my program is also appreciation based, so no charge for that. So, but Monica is doing her program for us. It's a 3-month program, 12 weeks, and it will start in February. So we will give you the exact dates in an email next week. And again, it will be totally for the community, the Misión community. So and those who are on the not church community as well. So if you don't exactly live here, you're welcome to join as well. And so that is a really exciting event for us. That from 12 with Monica. And so we thank you for that, and you will be getting more information about that. But there is some information right now on the website under tranquilobaja.com/courses. You can go and look at that right now.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Sky.
Okay.
This is all very exciting.
Exciting.
Exciting, yes.
It is very
that too. Exciting. And hey, you know what? It's a great kickoff, I think, today with intention is the perfect topic, not only for the beginning of the year, not only for saying goodbye nicely to last year, but also for, the beginning of the 10th year of Not Church. This is big. We've been doing this, we're starting our 10th year. And we also have a lot of other wonderful programs going on, and we're adding to them, as you can see, with all of this. But we have Ron's Monday meditation at 8:30 in Plaza Del Mar. We have a study group in Northern Baja on Tuesday afternoon, as well as my study group, my mindfulness, Buddhist, direct path, all kind of Buddhism related meditation and mindfulness group on Tuesday afternoons. We've got about, 3 more chapters in our current book, but anyone is welcome to pop in, drop in with us, and join us at any time. So,
And the Enneagram group, the ongoing community Enneagram group.
Tom's leading the ongoing community Enneagram group, which is another resource. And what we found, in fact, Monica and I discussed this yesterday, and you can see that all of these programs Focus on the same thing, getting in
Yeah.
touch with our authentic self, dealing from a point of heart and soul and true essence, as opposed from a point of power, ego, reactivity. And the more we practice, the better we get at all this, because our egos had full reign for far too long. Even though many of us have been doing a lot of work for many, many years, we still get caught. And what you see, you know, Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours, whatever you want to be excellent at, one needs to practice and develop. So that's why we do all these things. And we all have the intention to be our better selves and do the best we can. But we need reminders. And there's a Buddhist term called smriti, which is remembering. And that's what we do. We remember to let go of our egos. We have them there when we need them, and they are required, as Monica gave examples, but we try to express ourselves and form our actions from our higher selves and our true nature. So all of you who have participated today are helping generate positive, higher vibrations of energy. And we're grateful for all of you who have participated today. Does anybody else have anything they want to
I
say?
do. I just would like to thank you for being so welcoming. And yes, there are groups that aren't always welcoming, but aren't those. And you know, the pandemic has set the religious world on upside down. People are really having a hard time with that. Their churches are closed, or they can have only a few people there. You know all of that stuff. But I find it very interesting, having been here today, that the Zoom church that I do participate in right here locally is very close to being able to almost do what you're doing. But it is so hard to let go of that building, which is right over my shoulder down the street. So, and I think that what you're doing and what you've been doing lays a tremendous groundwork for the changes that will be coming, and they're much closer than most people. And I say church, I should say faith groups, because I know it's way more than a church. But it's so hard, all that tradition, all that. I'm wondering, did some of you leave that background and find yourselves here? And it's a lot, huh?
Oh yeah, I think that's true. I think most of us came to, and that's why it originally was called Not Church.
That's right, exactly. And I'm very happy that Lance Osher invited me. Well, he said, actually it was on his Facebook for some reason, but at any rate, I found you because of him. I will probably wander in and out. I will look at all of the other pieces, and I will share them with people that I think, you know, would appreciate it and would enjoy learning from this. I think you have the big tent idea way before anybody has really begun. You welcome everyone to bring what they have. And
thank you. Thank you, Elaine. And you know,
I wanted to ask Monica how we can see her, tell us about her documentary film and how we can see it.
We actually need to wrap up now because we're way past 11 o'clock. So continue to chat amongst yourselves.
Okay.
But thank you. And we'll be here again. And there are all these groups that get together. You're absolutely welcome to join any of the groups.
And make sure that we have your email if you want to be included on.
You do, because you sent me the Zoom information, right?
Okay, great. And of course you can pass it on. Great.
Oh, yes.
Well, thank you all for being here today. Hi, Bruce.
You have a longer afternoon ahead than I do right now, so I'm.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're ahead of us there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thanks again.
Okay, bye.
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 Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Mary Beth.
It's great.
I don't know.
Good. Great.
Bye.
Wonderful.
Yes. Bye, Terry Jo. Hi, Renee. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Monica. Monica's
you,
gone, I think.
Monica.
Thank you, Monica.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Blessed
Bye,
day.
Joe. Nice to meet you. Come back. Come
you.
back soon.
Thanks, Anna. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to officially end this party. Goodbye, Arthur. Goodbye, Renee. Sky, do you want to stay for a second and chat with me? No. Okay.
I'll catch up with you. I just wanted to say I'll catch up with you tomorrow, Nadine.
Okay, great. Yes, we have a meeting tomorrow, don't we? Bye, Arthur.